What's up, everybody? This is Al from Al on the Hop Podcast. Thanks for joining us for episode 2. This episode, we get into the basics of the crypto space, how to get your USD or your fiat onto crypto exchanges. So stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Al and the High. Two friends talking crypto and sports. Let's get it.
Real quick before we get started, we're just two guys, man, two regular ass guys talking about shit.
Basically it.
And that's basically it. We are not financial advisors in any way, shape, or form.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2 for Al on the Hop Podcast. We're just going to get into a little bit more crypto today. Basically, how you're turning your cash into crypto. So let's start talking about
on and off ramps. And when we mean on and off ramps, we're talking about ways to get your fiat currency, your US dollars, British pounds, Mexican pesos, the way we can get that money into the digital asset space. So that's what we mean when we talk about on and off ramps.
Right. Essentially, it's a bank for your cryptocurrencies. You know, how you're getting you go to the bank, deposit your cash, you take it out, whatever. It's essentially the same thing. It's just on and off ramps for crypto, on and off the exchanges, hardware wallets, all that kind of stuff.
So there's processes to going through this, and we know, like, it was the same for us when we first went through, because when we talk about these on and off ramps, they're going to ask you for information, KYC, which is know your customer, and that's going to consist of having, taking a selfie, but showing your driver's license, potentially writing down the date or whatever the case on a piece of paper. This is all the stuff that you got to go through, that you're going to have to go through at some point if you decide to go this route. Now, if you decide to stay with your traditional bank, when they make the switch over to these digital assets, you may not have to go through all this. But if you want to have more control over your money and not potentially have to worry about the negative interest rates, like we talked about in the last video, come in and basically like another tax, then this is the kind of stuff you're going to have to go through in order to get your fiat into the digital asset space.
Right. I remember when I obviously, Ty, you were kind of my guide through this, because you basically got me into it, and how many text messages or phone calls did we go back and forth on when I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And so, it's definitely different than just your normal process. Like he said, they want pictures of ID, possibly like selfies, anything like that, just to verify your identity. And it's really just to keep it secure for you. People talk about, like we talked about last episode with cryptocurrency being like hackers and all that stuff. And while there are hackers there, typically they do it through other routes. They're not doing it
like phishing your email or text message or something like that. You have to give them your personal keys or stuff to get into your account.
Right. They're not getting,
because if they hack an exchange or something like that, if you're at a good exchange, most likely the exchange is insured.
Right.
Like the ones that we mess with are insured.
Right. And they're typically not getting that info from the exchanges itself. So with that process too, typically you're going to need, for some of the exchanges, you're going to need a Google Authenticator, which essentially is an app with like a rotating, a 6-digit code.
Yeah.
And I forgot what the number on it is, but it's like, I want to say it's like probably every 20 seconds or 30 seconds, something like that. It rotates through.
Yeah, it's like a 30-second timer. You got to tap it in, and like for BitTrue, and we're going to talk about this a little later, but for BitTrue, say if you want to withdraw out of BitTrue, the process you would have to go through is you have to put in your PIN code. After you put in your PIN code, you got to request an email with a code. And then after you get that email with the code, you have 60 seconds to make sure that's in. And then you would go to your Google Authenticator, get that code, and put it in. Right. So that's 3 layers they would actually have to go through, a hacker would have to go through. And then actually BitTrue added a 4th layer, which you can determine which device, like actual device, will only accept withdrawals from. So if you want to do a desktop, a phone, or whatever the case may be, you can determine which one. And if you want to add something, it takes 24 hours. So there's the security is in place for you to have that security that your money is going to be, your value is going to be there.
Right. And I think I think it's BitTrue, but like I don't have like my BitTrue. I think it's BitTrue, but I don't use the Google Authenticator. Like my third is like the SMS text with it, but same thing. You hit the thing, they send you the code to the text.
Right.
to your phone, and then you got to enter that. So that's the third one. But
When
Google
you, but when
Authenticator.
if you get one now, a BitTrue now, they make you do it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
old school like you. Then when I switched my account over, I don't
Gotcha.
know, may have been 6 to 9 months ago, they made me get a Google Authenticator.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
that's just part of it.
I know it's on like Nexo, it's on Uphold,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's on most of them. And so let's kind of touch base on, so that know your customer process is really just for security issues. It's the exchanges trying to provide security for you. Even, and just real quick, even with issues like I've been blocked from moving money or moving crypto or whatever, trying to get off, and they send you an email and they request you to do, send a video of yourself stating your name, all that kind of stuff. So they're trying to provide that security for
Yeah.
you. So if it's some weird activity or they feel like it is, they definitely go out of their way for that. So from different exchanges, let's touch base on real quick. Let's go Coinbase Pro. Just kind of positive minuses on that. And we'll just kind of go through some of them that we use.
Coinbase, I freaking hate them. I 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 hate them.
You don't want to give
Fees
them
are
your money?
outrageous. Yeah. Oh my goodness, God. Fees are so outrageous. During a bull run, they break down. I hate them, but honestly, they are the number one, cryptocurrency exchange, digital asset, whatever you want to call them, in the space. So I have a Coinbase account now. Getting your money in now, the Coinbase account is very easy interface, extremely easy interface. But if you try and put money in, or when you put money in, they will get you badly with fees.
Right.
Coinbase Pro, on the other hand, is more like an exchange.
Fees are lower.
Yeah, fees. I mean,
minimal.
Fees are, minimal. Like that. I'm getting my money into Coinbase Pro, getting my money in, my fiat into this digital space. Coinbase Pro is my number one. That's my number one to get in, because the fees are just so low. And then the wait time, whenever you put your fiat money into the system, until the digital asset upgrade happens to these traditional banks, they're still under the 3 to 5 day wait. So once your money gets into the system, they'll allow you to trade to get what coin you want, but you can't move that value off of their exchange until that money clears into their exchange. But Coinbase Pro, 5 days, we can get it is an on-ramp, and then it connects to your bank. So then again, there's an on-ramp to get your money out of the digital asset space and back into your bank account if needed, which you don't need to do, but if you needed to or wanted to.
Right. And typically all these, I'm the same way now anyway. Coinbase Pro is definitely my go-to as far as getting fiat in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, for me, obviously the fees, and then it's the wait time, so it's as far as what I've used, Coinbase Pro is definitely the lowest wait time. It's that 3 to 5 day for the bank to clear it over there, for them to actually receive the fiat. And then from there, you could just move it off to other exchanges or whatever, which obviously we do. But it's that on-ramp and off-ramp.
Instantly, as soon as you get the email, you get it off of Coinbase.
And that's the thing is at that point, once it's in your digital currency, moving XRP or XLM or Ethereum or whatever, it's obviously less than that 3 to 5 days. Like moving XRP from Coinbase to another platform, again, with the process of it, about a minute and a half max.
But the actual moving of the coin, 3 to 5 seconds.
Right. It's just a matter of Coinbase Pro messaging another exchange, and then going back and forth and being able to.
For instance, I'll tell you like this. For instance, Uphold and Nexo, when you send coins off of Uphold and even off of Ledger, they go now.
Right.
Like if you send something from Nexo to BitTrue, it'll leave Nexo, and within 10 seconds, you'll be getting the notification from BitTrue that your coins are there.
Right.
So it just depends on the messaging and whatever checks
fast they're,
or confirmations they got to go through to get it off the exchange. But the actual process, no matter what the value is always 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah. So, Coinbase, I'm the same way. Like I got off that, I started it. It was the same thing. I didn't realize. And then as soon as I moved money, I was like, it just took $10 out of my account. I put money, it was like I'm $10 short what I had. So, but Coinbase Pro is definitely my number one as far as off ramp. Let's touch
number
on
2,
Binance US.
Same process, same issues. 10-day wait, right? I think it's a 10-day wait. The fees are a tad bit higher.
And that's what kind of moved me away from them, was just the wait time. I do have some crypto on Binance still, but it's the wait time. It's that 10-day wait period that you got to wait to be able to move it off to a Bitrue or a Nexo or something like that.
And then and for you guys to understand why, like the reason why we want to move it off so quick is we want to get it into the interest bearing account so it can start compounding that interest. Now the 5 day, the 3 to 5 day wait is already, you know, when you know that you can be earning 5% on this already, regardless, like the 3 to 5 days is irritating, but it's what we got to go through right now. But like we said, Binance US gives you that 10 days. And if for whatever reason, if Coinbase is tripping, then you can always fall back on Binance US. Just understand that you're going to have that 10-day wait and the fees are going to be a tad bit higher.
Right. It's always good to have multiple on-ramp and off-ramps just for obviously technical issues or depending on how much you're trying to pull out or put on or whatever. Usually there's maxes on what you can do in that sense. So,
or if you just want to hold a side account.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, Binance is good. Obviously, Binance US, they have Binance, just regular Binance, which have they done it yet? I know they were going to kick off basically all the United States off of their Binance.
Yeah,
basically their world one.
So if you guys mess with Binance US, you make sure, or Binance, make sure it's Binance.us.
Right, and there's again apps, download them on a computer, or the website's on a computer. But overall, I like Binance. It's security wise, it's the same thing. That's actually the one I was, it's one of those is you start moving stuff around, and every once in a while they'll flag you, just because you're moving from this crypto to this crypto, trying to get it off this exchange, and you're going back and forth. They're the one that's actually been like flagged it, went with the email, and I had to send in like basically the selfie video of like stating my name, the date, all that kind of stuff to be able to but it was honestly 10-minute process. Like they're pretty responsive with that situation. So
but don't get us wrong, it's irritating, but if you think about it, if somebody was trying to get in to your account and steal your value, you would want them to have to go through these checkpoints and have these things, these hurdles in order to make sure that your value is secure. So it's in the long run, it's a good thing.
So the next one, let's go with Uphold.
Go ahead, man. You tell me.
I'm gonna be honest. Like for me, this is from the start. I think you introduced me to Uphold. And that was like when I first started. It was for me interface wise, like not knowing what I was doing. It was definitely like the easiest, like newbie, like on ramp, off ramp. And when I
switch some rules,
which they changed some stuff, which is why I don't use it as much anymore. I mean, I still have crypto on it, but that's because I can't get it off. And it's but it's because they put not because I can't, but they put a hold on it. So basically, Uphold, it used to be like Coinbase or Binance. It was like I think it was a 10-day wait.
I think it was 10 days too.
And they upped it, and a lot of that's because they have a debit card, I would think. So they're trying to get people to use the debit card. I think it's like
with 2% cash back.
Right.
Yeah,
I think it's like 65 days now. So if you put in however much money, so even $100, you put in $100 on Uphold, and you buy crypto and the nice thing with Uphold is they have stocks, they have metals, they have all types of stuff. You can buy silver on there, gold, fractional stocks of Amazon, whatever, and it's the same thing.
And then they also have integrations. Yeah, they have integrations where you can buy physical silver and physical gold, and there are other investment opportunities. But what I want you guys to understand is if you send money from an exchange onto Nexo, or if you send crypto onto Uphold from like say Nexo or Bitrue, then there is no 65-day hold. Remember, we're only talking about from fiat coming into the digital world. That's when you're going to get the hold, and you're not going to be able to move it off of the exchange or off of whatever you're using until it clears.
Right, and the only way you can move it, like if I put $100 into Uphold, and I was, so whatever, something happened, I needed that money, I could move it back off onto my debit card or the checking account. So they allow you to take it off. They just don't allow you to move it to another exchange for 65 days.
To get some other interest or something.
But I mean, they have a debit card, and like you said, you get 2% back on crypto. It's 1% cash back. So if you just put your fiat on there, your USD, and use it as USD, you get 1% cash back on all purchases. So it's definitely going to hang around because of that debit card. Like I said, you could go down to the gas station if you need some gas or whatever. You could slide your Uphold card through the thing and pay with XRP or Bitcoin or whatever. So
Mhm.
it has that retail value. The normal person can use it, kind of thing. You're not just sitting there, trying to get money in and out. You can actually use it there. But yeah, overall, I haven't put money into it like I said, I'm getting closer to that 65-day period, and as soon as that hits, I'm yanking it out. Like I got to get it off.
Well, real quick, those are the 3 on ramps that we actually use. We're going to
Right.
talk about two more exchanges here in a second. There are other on ramps. I think crypto.com is one, and I want to say another one. What's another one? Oh, Celsius Network, I believe, is another on ramp. We just don't use them, and not to say there's anything wrong with them. It's just we are
just haven't used
happy with these. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and there's ultimately there's tons of them.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a worldwide, so this is there's tons of exchanges and stuff. These are just 3 main ones we stick to. So next one, let's talk about. Let's start talking. Let's go Nexo first. It's an exchange.
Actually, no,
It's not really an
not
exchange though. You just hold
because you can't buy and sell on it.
Right.
Yeah, it's
You're
more
just
of a crypto bank. I don't even know what the word is for it.
Yeah, you can. So basically, you can send your crypto over there. They have like the savings plan. So like your XRP will earn 5% daily or 5% annually,
Yeah.
but you get the compounding interest on that daily. And same
5
with all
o'clock
the
PM.
other same with all the other cryptos that they hold on there. Obviously, they don't hold all of them. Most of these exchanges that we've talked about don't hold all the cryptos. You'll find some of them are on others and some of them aren't. But Nexo, they have a debit card that hasn't been released yet, but you can be waitlisted for it. But it's the same kind of thing. You move it onto there, and basically it's a savings account. You slide your XRP over or Bitcoin or whatever, and earn your interest on it, and it compounds automatically, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about it. It shows you, like, it sends you a notification, like you said, 5 p.m. Shows you how much you earned that day, and it automatically rolls it back in. So the next day you're now earning what you had in plus what you had earned the day before. So it's that compounding interest.
Also with Nexo, they have a loan program where the crypto that you actually have in there. And I personally don't recommend doing any of this stuff until we get this institutional money in and the price to become more stable. But you can take out a loan against your own crypto. It's basically a collateralized loan, and when you as soon as you put your crypto in there, you're eligible to take out the loan. I believe it's up to maybe 65 or 70%, but your liquidation level is at like 85 or 90%. So if the price drops, and it's extremely volatile right now, they will liquidate you. Yeah. So this is something definitely to think about later on. But like I said, when I was in the previous podcast, I was telling you guys that you don't need a bank, because when you invest in this, and when this does what the institutional money comes in, is going to do what it's going to do, you'll be able to take out the loans without the need of a bank.
Right.
But Nexo is one of those, and if you hold something else we got to talk about, Nexo has its own coin. Okay. Right. And if you have their native coin, you get extra interest. So if you hold more than 1% in the Nexo coin, then the interest that you would earn at 5% now moves up to 5.25%. If you are in between 5% and 10%, then it goes up to 5.5%. And if you're over 10% of your holdings are in the Nexo coin, then every coin that you have, you will earn 6% on your compounding interest. So there are little games that they try to play to get you to buy into their native coin, because native token, because consequently, if you are at that platinum level, then your interest level on those collateralized loans, I think, is like 5.9%, or whatever the case may be. So there's perks to owning the coins, and we'll touch on it a little more when we get the bit truth. But like Nexo, for the compounding interest, if you're just getting in, you really honestly you can't beat it.
Right.
Yeah,
it's easy. Put it in there, forget about it. Like I said, you get the notifications that it's compounding interest daily, so it's pretty simple. But yeah, you just spoke about it. Let's talk about BitTrue. I mean, you got me into it. I was kind of confused at first with it, and I really just think I didn't really look into it. It was different, and I was looking for that was the first non-on-ramp, off-ramp like I looked at. So for me, I was looking for, like, where do I put my debit card? Or like, where do I put? So you
Mhm.
know what I mean. So that's why it was confusing to me. But as soon as I realized that, that's not what it is. It's literally you got to either move it to an on ramp or off ramp, or move your crypto to it or off of it to get it out. But BitTrue, just like Nexo, they have what's like the Power Piggy they call it, which is essentially
Yeah.
their savings account. And it's the same thing as Nexo. They have percentages off of crypto. And the cool thing now that we started to see, and we probably a couple weeks ago, Nexo and BitTrue are starting to compete with their percentages.
Yeah.
Um, it was I think it was XRP was what at like 4.1%,
Yeah.
and then
It was at
Nexo bumped it to
4.1.
5%, and
Yeah.
BitTrue was still at like 4.1 or something like that. And the next thing you knew, like 2 weeks later, BitTrue was like, "Hey, we're going at 5.3%." So it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, all right, I'm gonna move all my XRP over to
Yeah.
BitTrue."
We're playing it. We're
Um,
switching. We're swapping back and forth. And the
right,
thing about it is who knew what happens in a free market, in a true free market? The
right,
people benefit. We benefit because they have to compete for us.
right. The banks
You know,
aren't
when
banks
we're
don't
under
compete
these
for us
deep,
at this point.
yeah, they're not doing that. They don't, and then either they got to. That's why they're trying to slow play this game so much, because once this goes, and then the masses wake up, like, wait a minute, I can be earning 10% on my stable coin, or what's equivalent to fiat
Right,
over here, or 0.002 over here. It's going to be quick, and then the banks are
yeah,
going to have to react.
easy
So
math.
that's why this is taking so long. That's why it's taking years and years, and that's why
Hmm.
Ripple is threatening to leave the United States
Right.
because
Yeah, we'll get into that too.
regulatory clarity.
Right. And BitTrue, unlike Nexo, is actually an exchange. So you can
Yes.
go on BitTrue, you can buy pairs, which is basically, I don't know how to explain it to make it simple, but
Okay.
basically you could buy tokens, but it's based out of like XRP or Bitcoin. So um let's say you're buying XRP from like Bitcoin essentially. So instead of like normally you'd be using USD, it's just a pair
I'll
that it
I'll
holds like that.
I'll explain it like this. So whenever I do any type of trading, okay, if I like when I'm talking to Al about, yeah, I bought this and I sold this, I only trade in XRP. So meaning in my head,
Right.
XRP is the dollar. And then I'm either going, if I need fiat, I'll literally say I'll say fiat. But if I say I bought and I sold, like Al knows that, I bought something, say XLM or XDC, and I bought it using XRP.
Right.
And then when I sold that, or whatever the case, I sold back into XRP. When
Right.
I buy and I sell, I never go back into fiat because I know fiat will always be stable ish, since they're printing like hell right now. It's really it's falling out of the sky. But with when I use XRP as my stable, as my base coin, I always jump into coins that I like. So I'm always into something that I think is going to always be appreciating in value. They have different pairs, like you can go USDT to XRP, or you can go USDT to XLM, but I rather use my fiat when I first get in to buy my XRP. And then when I get my XRP, if I want to buy something else, I'll buy it with XRP into that other pair. And I love
Right.
BitTrue because BitTrue has the most XRP pairs.
Right. Yeah. So they do have BitTrue has a ton of tokens that you can't get like on Binance, Coinbase,
Mhm.
like you said, XDC. There's multiple on there that you can't get on some of the other exchanges. The tricky thing with BitTrue, with Nexo. So Nexo, you could literally just move your XRP over there, and it just sits there and starts earning interest. You don't, yeah, you don't have to like move it into anything special. It just, as soon as it's there, it starts collecting. Whereas BitTrue with the Power Piggies, you got to go through the app, you got to hit the Power Piggy, go find whatever token it is, whether it's Bitcoin, XRP,
You gotta be
XLM,
fast.
and you got to be fast. So I think there's 2 times a day, they're 12 hours apart, depending on where you're at. But
6 and 6 Western,
yeah, eight
Pacific
and 8 where
Standard.
I'm at. But you got to be quick. So for example, XRP, every 12 hours they allot for the year 250,000 X.
No, for the day.
Well, I'm saying for that annual slot though.
No. It's for. Oh, okay, I got you.
So
it's 250 and each 6 o'clock each
right,
day.
yeah,
So 500 a day.
Right. But what I'm saying is, so basically when you put in, if I put in at 8 a.m., it's an annual lock essentially. So they allot at that 8 a.m. time 250,000 XRP that they're giving out on that annual basis.
Oh,
So
yes. Okay, I got you.
so
Yes.
they're doing that twice a day. So yes, they're allotting 250,000 here, 250,000 there. Then the next day, same thing. But you have to be quick. So like if me and Jabri say we have enough XRP to fill that whole 250,000 for that year, if he beats me, I get locked out. So basically, it sells out, and
Yeah.
I'm texting him, cussing him out because like you couldn't have done half, so I could earn half a day worth of interest on this. But so that's the tricky part is you have to like time it out.
Yeah.
Like it's a matter of like going in. So what I do, go in, watch the clock. I count it down from like 30, and once it hits about 12, I go back to the other screen, and I'm in my head counting because as soon as
Yeah.
it hits about 2, I hit the button again because that gives it enough time to load up, and then I gotta go be quick and hit it and get it in there for
Yeah.
that power piggy. And that one,
And they just dropped that from, it was 500,000 per time per 6 and 6 my time, and they lowered that to half, so it's 250. But they're another exchange that has their, you know, their native token, the BTR. Is it BTR? Yeah, BTR.
I think so.
And that's their Bitrue. It's their Bitrue token, and if you have a certain percentage of them, then you can do a personal power piggy lockup, and you don't have to fight with anybody else. So
Right.
the
And
newbies, I would definitely say go to Nexo.
yeah, Nexo's by far the
and
easier.
then
So
play
just,
and play with Bitrue to get in.
The other thing with Bitro, the reason that they moved it down to the 250,000 is because they increased that percentage. So
Yeah.
and again, so they're guaranteeing you. I mean, me and Ha over here have messed around with some nefarious acts on trying to make some money, but we won't talk about that. They're not even around, but they it's one of those they're guaranteeing you here's 250,000 XRP allotted for this time frame for this annual percentage. So if you have enough to get all that 250,000 over that year, you're going to get that 250,000 XRP. It's not going to disappear on you. It's not all of a sudden going to be like, oh, we don't have that. Sorry, bye. See you later. And
what he was referring to, real quick, what he was referring to earlier was DeFi, decentralized finance. You got to be careful with decentralized finance, man. It's the regulatory clarity. Like right now, it is a little wild westish, especially with the DeFi, because they don't have to answer to anybody.
Right. Trying to make a quick buck, and if you're not careful, you can lose some money. So.
Yep, you can lose money. But stay away from the DeFi until this clarity comes. Right. But these are not DeFi. So
no, these are full exchanges. Thanks for that clarity on that.
Yeah, no problem.
And one we didn't talk about, but another one that I kind of messed with at the beginning was just crypto.com. They have an app, so they have a Visa card, whereas as Uphold is a MasterCard. So it's one of those. It's just kind of a different debit card. And they have also a like native token where same thing. You can earn like crazy percentage if you have the hard part about crypto.com is they want you to hold like basically like $1,000 worth of their token for like 6 months and not touch it. And so they're trying to get that off of you, but they do have multiple credit cards, and they actually or debits cards, and they actually have it tiered out where
they do different
kind of the same
too.
thing where so like but it's the same concept. Like they want you to buy a certain amount of that crypto.com token, and they'll tier it up. So if you buy enough of it, they'll pay for like your Netflix and Spotify memberships monthly. They'll pay for certain stuff, but they want you to have whatever $2,500 of crypto.com token locked in there for 6 months or whatever it is. So, but it's just another option. It's fairly easy to use. I used it at the beginning. I just kind of got off of it because didn't have enough in there to really worth holding there, and I wanted to earn interest on other stuff, so got off of that. But and then we'll talk about the ledger, which is a hardware. So those we were talking about was like a software. So basically like phone apps, computers, desktops, whatever exchanges. They're all it's internet based. So it's live. It's on constantly. So you literally just pull your phone up. However you have it linked, whether you got to enter a password to open the app or Face ID, pulls up everything. Ledger is a hardware, so you can load it on. It has security measures of its own. with like its
Yeah, basically
passphrase.
24. Yeah,
Yeah,
24
20.
key passphrase.
Right.
Um, there's a lot that goes into the ledger. Like you're your own bank. If you decide to put your crypto on a ledger hardware device, it's called cold storage because basically it's an on and off ramp in the terms of you are locking your if the digital assets are freeway, you are locking your stuff in the garage, and you are the only one that has the keys to the car.
Right.
So if you lose those 24 keys, or you do something with those 24 keys, that key phrase, or lose that device, it's over because no one can get that for you.
That's yours.
I guess. Yeah.
It's your safe. Like
the
if
negative.
you walked into a bank, it's the safe. Like if you know, it's one of those.
But it's your safe.
Right.
Like if the bank loses your stuff, you can go to the bank and be like, "What's up?" But if you lose this, you just got to go look in the mirror and say, "What's up?"
Right. And so it's one of those that, I mean, it works. Obviously, they have a you know, a app on a computer. You know, you plug your ledger hardware, the little ledger, into a USB. It hooks up, and you could send your tokens that it holds. They don't hold a ton of different tokens. They hold some of the major ones. And you can't buy, only a few you can buy on the Ledger app.
Right.
Like XRP is one that you can't. You have to send it, or at least last time I was on there, you couldn't. You have to send it.
I don't know.
But but it's a safe. It's one of those, you put it on there. I don't have a ton on it, but it's one of those, I put it on there. I know where it's at. I have my keys, and I just kind of forget about it. Like I know how much is on there, but it's like I said, it's kind of that safe.
Yeah,
you are your last. Right.
You are the lender of last resort for yourself.
Right.
You can always go back to yourself. You don't have to. You got your money there. No one else can ever access that but you, unless you give them your key.
Definitely.
And I mean no one.
Yeah, and it's just random ass
AI.
words. Yeah, it's just random ass words too. It's not like Jabri came up with some sentence and it had to be 24 words. It's just random ass words. So, but it's good for, like we said, for its safety reasons. If you're not into the exchanges and all that kind of stuff, just put it on there and forget about it. Well, let's get into, like, as far as the exchanges, which I don't get into a ton of this. Every once in a while we do with certain stuff, but there's a lot of day traders out there, and basically on the exchanges you have like the buying and selling aspect, like we touched on in that first episode, where I kind of, at this point crypto is kind of like the stock market. You have the buying and selling, it reacts off of that. But you have limit orders versus market orders on the exchanges when you're buying and selling.
I don't buy and sell. I'm not a trader. I'm a hodler. I buy it and I hold it. Al, I think you are the same way. But there are different ways to buy. Like if you watch some of the technical analysis guys, like one is Blockchain Backer. He's like one of the very good technical analysis guys. He's kind of on point with his stuff. But when you watch him, he'll give you zones. Like, yeah, okay, I think a good buying opportunity was 40 something cents. With a limit order, if you have the USDT or whatever you want to trade with, you can set that order in there. I want to buy 500 XRP at 47 cents, and it'll save that order. And when it drops down to that price, it'll execute the order buying at that price, and then you got in. Now, the thing with market orders is whatever the price is. So if there's when you look at it, you'll see a bunch of sell orders and a bunch of buy orders. If you put in a market order, it'll check and see what the sell order, what the buy orders are, and however many you want, it'll take from the top and go straight down. It'll just suck up whatever is on the order. So depending on what you want to do, if you're like, oh, I want to wait for this price, you can do the same with selling. Like if you want to sell your XRP, okay, I want to sell my XRP at $10. Well, you can put in a limit order that I want to sell 20 XRP at $10. And when it hits $10, it'll execute that order. But if you hit a market order, it'll sell right now that $10 worth or whatever, how much you wanted to sell.
Right. And the hard part with that, and you experience it, I don't know if you want to get into that, but if you have a sell order at a certain price, and the crypto world is notorious for like flash crashes, and so you'll get a sell order, a bunch of bots or whatever people have set up at a certain price, and it'll crash, And if you're not quick enough, it'll crash and then drive all the way back up because people set sell orders. And if you aren't on there, you don't have sell order set, you ain't get your you ain't buying back in at that price that you want to buy back.
Or buy orders, have your buy order set. It's just like exactly what you're saying is what happened with the flare drop.
Right.
And we both talked about it after. Like, we should have known this was going to happen.
Right. We talked about it before, and we just didn't.
Yeah, and we just didn't do it. But the fact of the matter is the price before the flare drop was, I think, 51 cents, 52 cents, and when it right after 4 o'clock, this guy literally texted and dump, and then it literally dumped on Binance to 36 cents. Now, if we would have put in buy orders, say at 40 cents or whatever the case may be, our buy orders would have took, and then immediately went from that 36 cents right back up to 50 cents.
Right.
Because all those people had those buy orders already set, those limit orders set, and it bought the price right back up. And then when you think about it, those people that bought in at 40 cents or whatever the case may be, immediately got 20% or 25% on their money when they shot back up to 50%.
Right.
So
it is, I will say, I don't know if you remember, like the first time I experienced like the flash crash. I think I was up because XRP was and the funny part is it went from 27 cents to like 32 cents in a matter of 5 minutes. Like, it was moving. And I remember I was texting you, and I was literally watching my phone, and within 30 seconds, it went from 32 cents to like 21 cents. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it. You had never like said anything to me, and I remember just thinking to myself, like, I just lost 10 cents per XRP. What the hell just happened? And but that's basically what that so if you don't know what it is, but then it climbs itself back up because they have people that you're putting in those buy orders.
That are and that's honestly, that's the reason why I watched the technical analysis guy.
Right.
Because I don't understand this stuff.
Blockchain backer, and I can't think of his name right now. He does the live feeds. He's awesome too.
Yeah, I think it's Mr. Level Up.
Yeah, Mr. Level Up. Yeah.
But you watch those guys and you just pay attention with what levels they're talking about, and like, I've been watching Blockchain Backer for a minute, and he's been hitting his levels. So
and it's all based off of technical analysis and everything.
Fibonacci retracement levels and stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah.
So there's that. Like you said, we're both. I mean, I kind of mess with it a little bit, but not much. I mean, not definitely not with XRP. Some of the other stuff I have, I'll mess with it a little bit, but I don't have enough of the other stuff to really make a huge difference in there. But so let's talk about like sending your crypto, whether it's XRP, XLM, Ethereum, which we both don't have Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't think you have any.
No, but they only have one label needs to go. But why don't you go ahead and handle this, man?
So, why? You act like I screwed this up once or twice. So,
I did too. But George is just more recent. Go ahead.
So basically, with XRP, XLM is another one. They have a destination address and a destination tag. So basically, if you're sending it, say you upload it to Coinbase or Coinbase Pro, you wait your 3-day period, and you want to send it to BitTrue. You have a send and receive aspect there on the app. I can't remember what. I mean, they're all kind of different on the apps and what they call it.
And one might say memo, it might say tag, whatever the case.
But XRP and XLM, in order to send it to your crypto wallet, so basically you have an XRP wallet on BitTrue, you have an XRP wallet on Uphold, Nexo, whatever exchange you have your own address and tag to that wallet on the exchanges. So if you don't enter both of them, it doesn't show up. It was the first time. It wasn't the first time. I think I just did it quick, and I wasn't paying attention, and I thought I hit the like copy. You copy and paste it basically on your phone or whatever. And I thought I hit it.
Yeah, we do not recommend typing that in.
Yeah, it's because it's a. I don't even know how many numbers it is on the address.
It's way
the tag's
too many.
short, or the memo's short, but the address is probably like 20, at least 20
and
letters.
It's uppercase, lowercase, numbers, letters. Yeah.
So I went quick and just hit it and then hit send, and I'm like sitting there waiting, go to the other one waiting. And I remember I texted you and I was like, "Why is this taking so long?" And then I looked at it and you're like, "Go back and check the thing," and I didn't put the destination tag in. Now the nice thing with, I don't know if it's all I don't even remember which exchange it was.
It ain't Coinbase. Coinbase don't do this shit. Coinbase,
Yeah,
will
I think it was
say,
Binance.
If you
I think I
don't
went
put
from
a tag, if you don't put a tag, it's ours.
yeah. So I think
I'm
it was
like-
I either went from Binance to BitTrue or Uphold to BitTrue, and basically contacted them. They located it. Actually, I think I was sending it to Binance, and they located it. It was kind of the same thing, the security stuff. They wanted to make sure it was you, and then took. I want to say it took a couple hours, but all of it got there. So it's what, because once XRP and all these things are, again, we talked about this in the first it's episode. It's all transparent. So every
it all gets tracked.
exchange or every, I'm trying to think of the word right now, but every transaction is recorded. So when you have that destination address on it, they ask you time or whatever, and basically when you send it, it does all that. They could locate it and put it there.
It's called they have a transaction. It's called transaction ID,
Right.
and you can actually click on it, and it shows all the details of the transaction,
How
where it
many,
originated, where it ended, what time it was, how much it was. It's like you can't cheat it.
Right. So,
but I like to think of it like this: the destination address is the hotel that your crypto is in. The tag is the room number.
Right.
Okay, so think of it like that. If you don't put that tag in, this is going to go to the hotel.
You're just going to be walking around hallways looking for somewhere to sleep.
But if you put the tag in there, the tag will get you to the room number. So that's how I like to think about it. Don't forget the tag.
And I think XLM is XLM. I mean, maybe I probably should say that.
I think those are the only two. Now, when Flare drops their FXRP, then that might be another.
But they both have tags or memos with the address. All the others, XDC, all that, they just have the address. But again, it's all linked to your. Basically, if I'm on Binance and I'm trying to send it to BitTrue, I open up the app on Binance and BitTrue, and I'm copying the addresses from BitTrue, putting them on Binance because that's where it's going.
And then with that, Ledger hardware does not have a destination tag.
Right.
Because that Ledger hardware device is your house.
Right.
If we're thinking, hotels being exchanges, and then the tag is the hotel room, the Ledger Nano is a house, and that's just your address. So there won't be a tag that you need to put in.
Right. So that is kind of confusing. Like you said, Coinbase won't do it, but some of them, you contact them, they'll locate that
just
for you.
Just don't forget the tag.
Yeah. and honestly, you know what I do now? Maybe you even told me. I'd like double check it, and then I screenshot it before I send it. So that way it's I know I did it. I see it. It's on there. I'm not having to go back and look for it.
There's no rush. There's no rush of adrenaline like the adrenaline of your crypto thinking you lost that shit.
Oh, like a heart attack, man, because it wasn't. Well, the funny part is remember, I don't know if you remember, I sent like 1 or I sent like 5 to try it,
and it worked.
So then I sent like the rest of it, and I'm not going to say how much it was, but it was the rest of it, and I was like, heart attack, waiting, like it was awful. And I'm like, please let them have this. And it was like even waiting that little, I think it was like 30, 45 minutes. It wasn't even that long. But waiting that time period for Binance to get back to me, like, oh, we got it for you. I'm like, sigh of relief. Was it going to go have to tell the lady that we just lost some money because I'm an idiot?
But just take your time.
Yeah, take your time with it. And the funny thing is, we say take your time. It only takes a minute to send it. So take your time, like making sure everything's right. Because the fast part is it actually sending to exchanges. I was going to talk about something.
Last but not least.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of touch on Cash App just because we touched on it a little bit in the last episode. You introduced me to it. Obviously, it's you literally download it on your phone. They send you a card once you get everything. And it's kind of a cool little card. Like I think we both have black ones.
Yeah, the card is dope, and you
got
put your own signature on it.
Yeah,
it's a clean little card.
It's a Visa debit card basically.
But it pulls from your traditional bank immediately. It has a router number to it, so you can get your paycheck sent to it. You can even get your stimulus checks sent to it. The boost. I mean, my wife went to Traders today. And she used the boost and was amped at
about time.
Oh, seriously. She's
I'm gonna tell her, be like, you know how long I told Jabri and he didn't say crap to you? I use that honestly, like I get angry now if I'm at the market. I forget, like, to be, you know what I mean? Like, it's just because it's 10%.
Yeah.
And
Those add
groceries
up.
aren't cheap.
It's better than 1% back.
I took my fat ass to Taco Bell today, and it was 10%. You know, they had a boost for Taco
Yeah.
Bell for 10%. So they had tons of boosts, and
and they just got
it's
the Bitcoin? Is it cash
yeah, I
back in
sent you that
Bitcoin or
today
something like
as I
that?
was looking for the
Yeah.
Taco Bell one because I was hungry. The boost was on there and it was Bitcoin. So with every like up to I think it was 3 purchases, you get 5% Bitcoin back. So obviously, like if I'm doing it, I'm using that on a big purchase. But because the way I'm thinking, it's going to be like if you spent $100, it's 5% of that would go towards Bitcoin.
Because that's the only digital app they have
Right.
as of right now. But
Right.
they do sell stock on that month.
Right.
So.
They do sell like the fractional stocks, which are getting big now with like Robinhood and all these other stock exchanges where you can buy the fractional. Well. Right.
The average person can get in and not have to spend $2,000 for Amazon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world is changing.
Crazy. But yeah, Cash App's awesome.
Bitcoin's over all-time high today.
Yeah, Bitcoin. We woke up this morning and I went Bitcoin. What's it at currently? I mean, here we are Wednesday. Yeah, it's 21,853. So it went up over $2,000 a day. Blew past its all-time high of like that was it.
And there's no air up there. There's no resistance up there. That's what a lot of people don't understand. When you pass your all-time high, there's nothing above. So who knows? I mean, what's going to happen? And the thing is the last time Bitcoin was around this all-time high, XRP was around $4. So it ain't close to $4.
Yeah. So
but it's up 25% today.
I mean, so Bitcoin's it's going through the roof. I expect it to retrace a little bit just because of normal action, but the thing with Bitcoin, we talked about it
at 1,900 or 19,000. Set a nice base at 19,000. There's a lot of accumulation at that price before it pushed up past its all-time high.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know how much longer. It might be taking a break.
Well, the thing is, we talked about it earlier. Like normal people like me and you aren't pushing Bitcoin right now. That's institutions getting in. We're starting to see that across the board of banks and companies dropping millions upon millions of dollars into Bitcoin. And that's what's driving that price right now. Because for it to go $2,000 in a day, ain't normal Joe's buying that many Bitcoin at 19
on lockdown with a pandemic, strapped for
Right.
money. Yeah, I would say that's not us. Kind of like the way the stock market keeps going up and everybody's not working. Yeah, I don't think that's us.
But the other thing I wanted to touch on too with Cash App was PayPal. We haven't actually talked about it at all, but PayPal, which everybody knows about, everybody uses. I feel like I use it, especially with online orders, just because it's easier. You're buying something online. If they link it to PayPal, you don't have to enter your card number or nothing. You just say, go to PayPal, sign it or whatever, and click and you pay for it. PayPal has crypto now. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin.
They opened it up. Well, here's the thing about that, and this is how they're just going to make a killing. Do they even show the price of it? So basically, guys,
I'm looking right now.
They're buying.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They show exactly what it is.
Yep.
And
you could buy it fractionally.
Does it look like an exchange?
No.
Well, of course you can buy it fractionally.
It's
just the price.
I could buy $20 worth of Bitcoin, $500, whatever.
What do you think? What do you think that little fee is with that? Like
it says, well, currently, here's the kicker. And I'm looking at it right now. It says,
I would be looking
buy
at
and
my
sell
phone
crypto with no fees through December 31st, 2020. Fees start in 2021. PayPal cryptocurrency apply. And I'm not going to go look into it, but that I can't remember what was that, about a month ago when that came on the news or just went through the crypto news. Like, it's like, come on in. It's one of those, like, all the millions upon millions of people that use PayPal can now purchase crypto on it and buy things with it.
So what do you think happens when 2.7 billion people on Facebook get the same opportunity?
Right. It's It's going to happen. I think I told you a couple months ago, and I totally forgot about this. I was trying to upload my new debit card because a number got stolen onto AT&T's app to pay my bill, and I scrolled too far past the new debit card thing, and there was Bitstamp. And so very quietly, like nobody talked about it, nobody said anything, but you could set up your crypto wallet on Bitstamp, which is another exchange that we both don't use, but it's another exchange that can be used that you could set up and link your AT&T account to Bitstamp and pay your AT&T bill with crypto.
Oh, imagine that.
So it's happening. And that's one of those, that's what makes you think like it's happening in silence in a lot of places like that. And another exchange we didn't talk about, and I'm going to be editing this obviously, is Kraken. Big exchange, and they're
a bank.
They're a bank
They're
now.
A bank.
They got the bank charter, so it's one of those things. It's starting. Like the fact that they got accepted as a bank charter. I think it's USAA. You know, their bank. You could link your Coinbase crypto wallets to that. It's everywhere.
I said it in the last podcast. One way or another, you're coming to this game. Either you're going to come kicking and screaming, or you're going to come voluntarily. But everybody's coming to this game, man. You're not going to have a choice. The thing is, you're not even going to know you're doing it half the time. But if you really want to get the most out of this game, this digital game that they're bringing in with this great reset / global currency reset, whatever the way they're going to go with this, if you don't learn these apps and learn the way these exchanges work and learn, how to go about conducting finance, then it's just going to be a repeat of what's been going on for the last 50, 70, 80 years or whatever the case. Nothing's going to change for you.
They talk about the greatest wealth transfer in history
ever.
It's going to happen.
Like, are you participating?
And
are you participating in that?
98% of the people will not know about it, and will not be on top of it, because it is going to happen. I mean, you could see it with Bitcoin. You could see if you start doing research, follow our page or follow our Twitter, follow our page. We post stuff all the time.
Look at the people we follow.
Right.
And we're not experts. Don't think that we're
experts.
any type of expert, any stretch in the imagination, because we're not. But the fact of the matter is we just happen to know just a little bit more than you guys do at this point.
Right.
And it won't take a whole lot for you to catch up. But the fact of the matter is I truly believe we're running out of time. There's a lot of things happening. I mean, look up Brian Brooks, the Office of the Comptroller Currency. Look what he's been doing.
Who did he used to work for?
Coinbase. And he's in charge of all the national banks in the United States. And he said there will be regulatory clarity in 6 to 8 weeks, and that was a week and a half ago.
And he's the one that
coming.
He's the one that passed the law to be able to for banks to be able to custody crypto, and exchanges to be able to get bank charters, which is what happened with Kraken. And they applied to that bank charter, and they got it.
And then today, they basically released something saying that it's okay for fintech companies and encouraging fintech companies like Ripple to work with banks, like
which they already do.
They're not gonna, which they already do, but they're not gonna post this or send you an email, or they're not gonna do it.
If you gotta do your own research.
Yeah, man.
So
and don't believe anything we say. Go and look it up for yourself.
Look it up
if you think we're BSing you.
We both. Like you said, I mean, a perfect example. We're not experts whatsoever. Like you said, we know more than a majority of people in the world, just because nobody knows about it. But we learned from multiple people. Like how many videos and from multiple different people, and sometimes you see the same thing over and over again because it's the same news, just different thoughts, different ideas of what's going on, and you just learn from different people in the space. Especially on Twitter.
Your own stuff. You learn.
It's huge as far as It's so much news is coming out daily, which is what's crazy. Even from when I started getting into it, it's not near what it is now.
No,
and it was daily then, but it's like tons of stuff daily now, and it's major stuff. So
it's major stuff. It's not us little people pushing the narrative anymore. It's the IMF. It's Brian Brooks. It's the people that actually are movers and shakers. It's freaking Facebook's Zuckerberg's punk ass getting called in because he's trying to, you know, get his tech company basically to have a global reserve currency.
Right.
And the banks of the world were like, hell no.
Not happening.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it ain't happening, bruh. So he had to take his ass up on Capitol Hill and go explain that to everybody and what they have planned and all that kind of stuff. Because the fact of the matter is Facebook plugs into 2.7 billion people. Like, everybody's on Facebook. And if they get their own coin and it's a stable coin, they can move and shake some stuff.
Yep.
Powers that be are not having that. No way, no how.
And that's the thing. The bank, and we'll get into this in another episode or another podcast, but we talk about DeFi and centralized all the time. But for people that don't know, like, centralized is basically your bank. So Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they answer to somebody, which is what we talked about a little bit earlier with DeFi. You get caught in a little bit of DeFi, and it's just normal ass people like me and you getting caught up in stuff
Create some
and
stuff.
try to get some make some extra money, and next thing you know, it's gone. But the reason why we're so big on Ripple and XRP is because they're one of the very few, and I mean very few, probably less than one hand counting, that are working with the banks and trying to decentralized, because they know that market and what it will do, because the banks aren't going to allow it to happen. There's too many big money players in that to let that happen. So they know in order to be what they want to be, they need to get the banks on board. And that's why they're looking for the regularity, clarity. That's, and you see it all the time with their partnerships with Ripple. I just posted a tweet. MoneyGram CEO was on CNN this morning with Chatterley, and they were talking about how they're using Ripple. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is on there constantly. He was on there a few days ago. MoneyGram, like I said, BIS was on there, which is the Banks for International Settlements.
I mean, all BS aside, man, all roads lead back to XRP in some way, shape, or form. You know, and it could be, you know, Earthport. You know, like I think I'm bought out by Visa, whatever the case would be. But they're a partner with Earthport was a partner with freaking is partner with Ripple. So since Visa bought out Earthport, what does that make Visa?
Yep. And Amex is a partner.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah, all these indirect / direct partnerships, you know what I'm saying? It's all gonna run on the ledger. And like I said, we kind of touched on this before. You know, what's the true circulating supply and how many quadrillions of dollars are gonna be rolling through that circulating supply. And if you think of XRP as like a boxcar, you can fill that boxcar up with anything and then transfer it from a ship to a boat to pretty much, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying, to unload it, whatever the case may be. But the thing about this XRP boxcar is it can be as big as they want it to be.
Right.
And the thing about it is they're going to put the price, I believe, at where they need it to be for this system, this global system, to run efficiently and effectively. Right. So in my eyes, that ain't $10. Yeah, that ain't $20.
Well, I'll say,
so we're talking
we talk about that
here, so.
with speculation and utility. Like the crypto
it's
space,
all speculation.
People talk about price all the time, and the crypto space has no clue. Even the people like that we listen to, like they talk about we're here for the utility, but none of us have any idea what the utility is going to do to the price of everything. Because
we have an idea, but
and it's just kind of us shooting in the dark. You know, we have an idea because we're trying to figure out how much money is in the world and all that kind of stuff. But all the prices now, it's like Bitcoin right now. It's all speculation. It's just people buying and selling and moving the price. It's not being used.
But then you think about, then I think about things like why would they make a coin like XRP divisible by 1 million pieces?
Right.
1 million. And I went back and did the math, and we were right. So if each drop was a penny, then it would be a $10,000 coin down to the drop. To me, that just seems real convenient.
Right.
It's just really, really convenient. And then if we're talking,
if you're going to use that in retail or sending money or whatever, if you're using that in retail and you're trying to, even if you get it to the, you know, I got to buy these appliances and I'm using XRP and the cost is $5,989.68. Like, it has to be broken up that way. Like, there's no other, because if everything's gonna end in dollars, like, that doesn't make any sense. No pun intended there, but it's gotta be a penny. So at some point, it's got to scale down to that penny.
Where we're gonna fractionalize? Like, who's gonna
Fractionalize dollars?
Yeah, well, fractionalize pennies.
Yeah.
Like, if you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we gonna do? Say, hey, take these 3/10 of a penny. Like, for what? And then you're inflating the shit. I mean, they're inflating the heck out of the dollars we have anyway.
Yeah.
What is that really gonna do? So I don't know. All speculation. Hell, we could be bat crap crazy for all we know. But this kind of seems,
it might be a little bit, but not all the way.
Yeah, but where we're going, and there's a whole lot of evidence to support our way of thinking. Just got to look it up for yourself and see.
Yeah, a lot of those guys: Brad Kimes, Kevin Cage, King Solomon, digital asset investor. I mean, we could go XRP Crypto Wolf. Like, there's tons of dudes that literally are doing research for you. Like, they're looking it up there for themselves, but they are posting YouTube videos, blasting Twitter all over the place with info. Like, they are
Working Money Channel will actually post all the articles in the description below.
Right.
So you can read them for yourself, but there's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
There's way to learn.
And that's the thing with this space, is you'll find out too, is everybody wants everybody to succeed for the most part. You know what I mean? There's obviously, you have like some haters and stuff, but
everywhere. But
everybody is like, they're giving you that info because they want you to have financial freedom. They see what's coming. They're wanting to get it out to as many people as can. That's basically what we're trying to do too. Is we're starting out.
We don't want nothing from nobody
to our base. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, do your own research. Go through, look it up. If you have questions, obviously, you know us. If not, Al Naha, just comment, whatever. We'll see what we can. You got anything else before we end this?
Nah, man, that's pretty good. It's just, like I was saying, man, we just want people to understand or just kind of see things from a little different point of view about things that are kind of happening, and they are happening, you know, and a lot of things always happen when there's distraction. It's always focus on this over here while we do all of this over here. And there is a whole lot of that going on right now. So just keep your eyes open.
Let's not get into that. Having said that, this is the Al Naha Podcast, episode 2. Be your own bake, people. We out.